Assalamualaikum, I Aini. My matric number A20A1251. The most popular issue that has a positive impact on Islamic Sharia banking institution is the Sharia Committee (SC). Based on the article we studied, state that the redetermination of the role and functions of the Sharia Committee of Islamic banks in Malaysia. In section 10.2 of the STPD, it explains, the SC is responsible for giving the IFI advice that is both subjective and sound. A Sharia administration that is both subjective and dynamic is of the vital importance. So the main reason for establishing the SC was to provide IFI with guidance on any aspect of Sharia law, as well as to monitor whether or not these institutions are operating in accordance with Sharia principles and requirements. Islamic banking has been around for more than 15 years in Malaysia, but its share of the market is less than a third of the total size of the banking sector's assets. From this paper, we want to suggest that the SC be given a wider range of responsibilities, such as coming up the new products that are both Sharia compliant and appealing to both Muslims and non-Muslims. The second is that IBs don't follow the profit loss sharing rules in the way they run their businesses. Next, IBs activities are a reproduction of conventional banking with cosmetic modifications to mask their interest rate reliance.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is AZIQAH BINTI alias BHROM and my matric number is A20A1702. I will share about the issue found in the articles. What is that? The issue found in the article is about to understand and evaluate the role and function of Sharia Committee of Islamic banks in Malaysia and to recommend redefining the scope of responsibilities to enable the Sharia Committee to respond effectively to current market needs. The main factors that makes the issue in this article is the lack of growth in Islamic banking in this country. Although Islamic banking in Malaysia has been operating for more than 4 decades, its market share is less than 1 until third of the aggregate asset size of the banking sector. The second factor is that there is a significant deviation from the principle of profit and loss sharing in Islamic bank operations.
Assalamualaikum, my name is FARIDAH and my matric number is A20A1335. Now I will present about how and why it happened. Because the members of the SC are prominent Sharia scholars, the SC should be the best mechanism in place to address the aforementioned objection. However, the present scope of duty as specified in SJOD 2019 excludes this obligation, restriction, the capacity to contribute to the general growth of Islamic banking. As a result, this research advises, among other things, that the SC's task and activity be expanded to encompass additional areas such as risk management, new product development, and financial performance accountability. To accomplish this goal, there would be a clear need for intensive training and upskilling of Sharia qualified members in order to provide them with the requisite expertise to successfully carry out the standard terms of reference. This study also suggests that IBs think about adding appropriate non-Sharia specialists to the SC. This study used a survey method to accomplish 2 major goals. The first goal is to assess the SC's present scope of activities, including SC's members, engagement in Sharia compliant, bank's operation, risk management, product operation, and financial performance. The second goal is to suggest additional areas for inclusion in the SC's tasks and functions. The poll contributes to determining if it is essential to broaden the SC's present function and responsibility to include all stakeholders. These goals are predicated on the necessity for SCs to improve more in order to address the challenges in IB's next phase of expansion. The easy time of growing has over. IBs must now compete directly for market share with CV. As a result, SC must be better prepared, and therefore the present suggestion. That's all for me. Thank you.
There are three methods to enhance the role of Sharia Committee SC. Firstly, improve the banking knowledge of members. The SC must be proficient in Sharia and Islamic bank business. Current SC members should be encouraged to acquire knowledge in other relevant fields such as economic, finance, banking, and others that are important in carrying out their duties. This is so that the SC's functions can be enhanced to cover the business aspects of Islamic banking operation. SC members need to be given exposure and training on banking operations. SC members must have more knowledge of Islamic banking to provide more effective services. Secondly, SC members should be more engagement with the board of directors, where it functions as a bridge between Sharia committees and the board, as well as in line with the board rule under the Islamic Financial Services Act 2013, Act 759, in line with the requirements of GP11, as well as knowledge in the field of Sharia and Islamic finance can strengthen the effectiveness of the board in carrying out their responsibilities to Sharia compliance. Board members appointed from the SC are able to share the required information to the board, especially when it involves the approval of policies related to Sharia matters, and ensure that the policies are implemented effectively. The board of directors and management are responsible for generating profitability, growth, and stability. The SC functions need to be expanded to include involvement in financial performance, product innovation, and risk management.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is AMALINA ZAKARIA. My matric number is 820A1676. So I will continue on the part of the new finding with the last point. It is broadening the function of the Sharia Committee to examine Sharia compliance as well as strengthen public confidence in the management, business operation of Islamic financial institution and integrity. Risk management refers to the operational risk, which is critical to the bank's survival and profitability. In Islam, it allows risk management because it is in line with the objective of Islamic law, Maqasid al-Sharia. Through profit loss sharing between banks and customers, it has made the Islamic banks carry more risk. However, currently, the Islamic banks are more focused on debt-based instruments after the Islamic bank decided to move away from profit loss sharing. Next, product development and innovation from the point of view of Chong and Leo suggest the Islamic bank as a benefit-based service, while other authors say that the Islamic bank service is merely a replica of the conventional bank. To equal that view, the Islamic bank should offer unique service that are Islamic in nature. The presence of the Sharia Committee is the best part for this function due to the presence of a combination of expertise in the Sharia Committee. This role is classified as important as the Islamic bank need to be creative and innovative for their long-term new product.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is MAISARAH and my matric number is 820-82050. So now we will go to discuss about the relevant issues related to Islamic banking and financial system. According to the article, product creation and innovation are another major concern in Islamic banking and financial systems. Some others argue that Islamic bankings are interest-based rather than interest-free, while others argue that Islamic bank services are just a mirror image of conventional banks. Islamic banks must provide a one-of-a-kind, distinctively Islamic service. Therefore, Islamic banks must provide products that accomplish Sharia principles while also meeting society's economic needs. Critics of Islamic banking argue that there is no difference between Islamic and traditional economics, and if there is, it is purely contrived and unsubstantial. As a result, the majority of Islamic product buyers believe that Islamic goods are comparable to any other bank product, making it impossible to distinguish between Islamic and non-Islamic activities. The difficulty of defining exactly what an Islamic product stands for is compounded by religious academics' interpretations of Sharia, resulting in ambiguous judgment and a deviation from the consensus of Islamic scholars. But due to the presence of integrated knowledge in the Sharia Committee, it is believed that Sharia committees are the ideal outlets for this rule. This position is critical since Islamic banks must be creative and innovative in product offerings in order to ensure their long-term viability and performance. Because Sharia operations do not have to be entirely or 100% different from normal products, it is impossible to rule out the possibility of partial or incomplete similarities between Islamic and conventional products. However, there is a noticeable distinction between these items in terms of shape and substance, as well as the end of the result.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah. I'm FARAH NABIHA, matric number A20A1329. Based on the study that has been conducted, Sharia committee members should not only need to proficient and deepen their knowledge of Islamic banks, but also need to conventional banks. Although the members of Sharia committee are mostly made up of religious scholars who are highly regarded by the community, does not mean that they only need to master the knowledge of Islamic banks only, as they are expert in the field of Sharia. By further expanding their knowledge, they are able to provide creative and innovative ideas in an effort to advance Islamic banks. In Malaysia, most banks operate a dual banking system. Therefore, the Sharia compliance alone are not sufficient to compete with the conventional banks. Sharia committee members should make Islamic banks an attraction not only to Muslim but also to non-Muslim. Last but not least, through a review of this journal, it is found that effective of Sharia committee members greatly contribute to a good financial performance of Islamic banks. Most of Sharia committee members are highly educated. However, it is unfortunate because they lack experience in the industry and the market. This is quite worrying, but it can overcome by recruiting committee members from various backgrounds, especially those involving banking, finance, economic, and other fields that with togetherness in the organization, they are able to generate creativity in developing Islamic banks in particular.
My name is SITI AZIMAH. My matric number is A20A1953. The conclusion: the Sharia Committee of an Islamic Bank is an organization whose role is to ensure that the activities and operation of IFIs are always in compliance with Sharia. In addition, the two main factors contributing to the issue in the article are the lack of growth of Islamic banking in the country and the occurrence of very significant deviation from the principle of profit and loss sharing in IB operations. Their way to enhance the rules of Sharia Committee is to increase the banking knowledge of its members. Sharia Committee members need to be more involved with the Board of Directors and expand the function of Sharia Committee. With this, the intention of Sharia Committee of Islamic Banks to ensure that all activity and operation of IFIs are always Sharia compliance must be continued so that future generation continue to realize it.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti ZAHIRAH binti Muhammad Zaid and my matric number is A20A1972. Next, for part recommendations. Some recommendations are including redefining the scope of tasks to enable the Sharia Committee SC to properly adapt to current market needs. Respondent proposed 3 methods to improve the duties of SC in the open-end question. These include expanding members' banking expertise, enhancing participation with management beyond the BODs, and expanding SC activities to encompass risk management and product innovation. This report also presents the following policy suggestions to Islamic bankings and the central bank. First, there is a strategic requirement for IBs to consider having a mix of experience in SCs while keeping Sharia experts as core members. A right blend of skills will enable SC to handle a broader range of functions. In fact, the SGPD now allows for a variety of expertise. Second, 3 critical areas that can contribute to the increased growth of IBs are not currently covered in the duties and functions of SCs. These are risk management, product development, and financial performance. These 3 categories should be included in the SC Former's term of reference. This would allow SCs to play a larger role in the growth of IBs, not only to meet the Islamic market segment, but also to give a viable banking alternative to the broader public.